Hey everyone, welcome back to another Anime Kingdom review. See by tab below. Yes, this is on episode 10 of Saekano season 2, and yes, I know, sorry, this is like a couple days late. But if you haven't been up to date with my videos, I've been, it's been pretty hectic at the moment. I'm kind of behind in everything, but I finally found the time to go ahead and make this review. So here we are. How do I feel about episode 10? Because if you did see my last review, you would know that I loved episode 8. It's probably in my opinion, the best episode of the season. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And then episode 9, ooh, honestly, in my opinion, probably one of the worst episodes of this season. Not saying it was like completely horrible, but just the way some of the things were done, like the over dramatic parts of it, and just kind of the way I hated, the way it kind of felt, in my opinion at least, out of character on how they kind of just betrayed Tomoya. And before you start going off and saying, did you not watch this episode? It showed why they did it and everything. And I completely understood that, I already understood that in episode 9. It wasn't the fact that, they want to go, this is a great opportunity for them to make this game. I still don't agree in wanting to work with this, Akane. They try to kind of make it seem like, what's it called? Utaha's producer was telling her that they used to go to school together at manga club, and pretty much, she may be a monster, she may act, the way she is, she's just a complete bitch, honestly. But she is really passionate. She's really passionate about, the game and everything, about making, not the game, just making what they do. She's a great creative person in that regard, that she will do everything possible to make whatever work of art that she's doing, whether it's a manga, whether it's video game or something, whatever. I'm not too sure what other things she does besides games, but she will do whatever it takes to make 100% the best. She will always try to make it the best, whether it literally doesn't matter if she's destroying friendships and creating more enemies. She will do anything no matter what. And in that regard, I guess you'd be like, yeah, I want to work on that, because that it's going to be something amazing probably, right? But it doesn't change the fact that you can have someone being passionate like that about a game, or passionate about whatever work they're doing, and not be a total bitch. Like, literally, I cannot see why anyone would work with her. I cannot see why that type of, how she acts would be okay for anyone and would motivate. I can see kind of like you want to prove her wrong kind of thing, but it's not going to work every time. Sure, it worked for Eddie D because, the way it was with Tomoya, I totally understand that Tomoya is not the best producer. He's a good friend. That's what it is. He doesn't want to hurt them, and because of that, he's not a good producer, because he doesn't push them to go farther. He kind of like, oh, you need more time? Sure, okay, that's fine. Oh, don't push yourself, don't push yourself. You need someone that will be able to push you. And I get that, why Eddie D was able to finally be able to start drawing better, and that was because she was pushed by Akane, and pretty much, she wanted to prove Akane wrong. And that part I do understand. I even understand why Utaha wants to go there as well, is because she wants to continue working, doing another, work some more again with Eddie D. And we do get to see that she also probably wants to prove Akane wrong, that she's not just, some add-on, some extra that she could just bring along and only come along if Eddie D comes, because she is better, And I love the way that their relationship was shown in this episode. I love the connection, because before, they always kind of fought. Sure, there was moments here and there where they would, you could definitely see the chemistry together between them, the camaraderie and everything. But this episode definitely showed it a lot more, and I actually really did enjoy that, It was really nice to see Utaha kind of, in a way, is more just looking out for Eddie, and I really like that about her character. Honestly, besides how the betrayal was in the last episode, Utaha, in my opinion, is still my favorite girl. I really do love Megumi, and the very end of this episode kind of just proved that yep, best girl, here she is, cuts her hair back. It's like a flashback back to before. Honestly, I like her hair longer, but it's still nice. She's still beautiful as always, and comes in, says let's go on a date. If I was Tomoya, I'd be like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go on a date. You don't need to really ask. Let's just do it, But you know how Tomoya is. I don't know if he's going to say yes, or there's going to be some bullshit kind of thing going on there. But yeah, honestly, I love this episode. I love the way they had the girls, Utaha and Edidi connect. I love the way they showed Edidi kind of overcome the obstacle that was in her way. And you saw that it wasn't easy for them. Edidi started crying because she wanted so badly to be able to, draw her very best for Tomoya. And in the end, Tomoya's dream for her, of course, was to become the best, honestly. And the only way for her to do that is to work with someone else because Tomoya is not the person that can push her to get better. And I understand that, even with Utaha as well. But the thing is, it's the way they did it. It didn't make sense to me. This is why I hate that aspect, is because they waited a whole month before they told him. That part just pissed me off because some people in the forums and stuff like, it's business. They don't have to tell them. It doesn't matter about friendship and everything all along the way. But no, it's not just their business partners. They are friends. Don't they care about Tomoya? Obviously they do, but it seems that they don't even go ahead and tell him. It comes a month later that Utaha ends up telling him, and that's only because he brings up his proposal for his work. If it wasn't for that, it could have been too much. It could have been half a year before they ended up him actually finding out. And that part pisses me off because why do you need to, not tell him? I don't understand that. And even if it's by like a business standpoint, as some people have been saying in the forums, hello, you don't go, if you're working for a job or something and you get a new job, you don't go ahead and just go to that new job and not tell your boss that you're going to be leaving. No, you have the decency to go and tell him, obviously, because there's like, come on, I just don't understand. It really doesn't make sense, and I hate the way some people in the forums are trying to defend it, like, no, Tomoya is an idiot or something. And yes, for a fact that I know, like, I agree with you that there's many points, many times throughout the season that I just want to slap Tomoya in the face, but this is not one of them. It's more of the way Utaha and Edidi did this. That's why it felt like such a betrayal, because they didn't even tell him. Honestly, all they had to do is maybe even send a text, call him up, meet up with him, say, we got this offer for this game. It's an amazing proposal. It's life-changing, and it's able to push us to get even better than we are now. And honestly, Tomoya would be sad. But I don't doubt that he would, honestly, like, you've already seen that he will do no matter, what it takes to, if, he doesn't want Edidi to push herself because he cares about her. He cares about Utaha as well. If this would, be a huge thing to push them in their careers for the future, I don't doubt that he would probably say, go, okay. He would be sad about it, but he wouldn't tell him, no, you can't do that. You're working for me, He would not. That's why it pisses me off so much that the way they did it. Like I said before, I feel that he would be fine with it. He would be really sad, disappointed in some way, but it would go over and he would be okay because at least they told him. I feel like it's such more of an impact because they didn't tell him. It's not just like a couple of days. Literally, this is a month. And like I said, he probably wouldn't even have found out if he didn't tell that proposal to Utaha. It could have been, like I said, half a year, maybe even a dang year before he found out. And that part pisses me off. That part doesn't make sense. And, sure, someone mentioned, and I thought that he did kind of tell him a proposal, but I guess, yeah, it's more of assuming that they, knew that he wanted to do another one. So, yeah, I do get that, but, like, they know that he probably wanted to do something in the future, which is why at least tell him before so he doesn't get his hopes up, or at least can think of a different way to do this and everything, It really pisses me off that they don't do that. They just let him go on thinking that, everything's all fine, and then he finds out, he's like, oh, I got this amazing proposal, and you can see that Utaha thought it was a pretty good proposal as well. But then says, guess what? Yeah, we're working on another project, and we can't work on this. And that would have been fine if they told him right immediately, but instead it's been a month and he worked on this with them in mind. If they already told him, he would not have thought about them in mind when making this project, and maybe would have got someone else. That's why it pisses me off so much, and it even pisses me off even more when I see people in the forums trying to defend that, the way they did it and everything, like it's business. No, I'm sorry to say, but business is also respect. You gotta have respect for the people you work with, and you don't do that. It's like total betrayal, and it's even worse because they are friends. And hello, they have feelings for him. They loved him. They love him pretty much, especially Eddie, like childhood friend and everything. This is the second time that she's done something like this. The first time he forgave her. I guess she's scared that the second time he's gonna get even mad, more worse. But to do the same thing and then not tell him, at least that just made it 10 times worse. I feel like at least tell him and maybe things would change since you at least told him your reasoning. But instead you just act like he's like, whatever, who cares about him, I'm gonna work on this project now. And that part pissed me off. But like I said, other than that, if you just see the parts with the connection between the kind of improvement in their camaraderie, the relationship between them, I was full on getting some Yuri moments, not gonna lie, between Uta and Eddie, and it was honestly beautiful. Like that scene when she starts to be able to draw and then she starts crying and then Uta is also crying as well. It was honestly really well done, and I actually really did enjoy that part. If it wasn't for the fact that they waited a month and maybe even would have waited even longer before they told him, I thought it would have been fine. And if Tomoya was mad, it was more on his side, and I would have been more mad at Tomoya. But Tomoya, honestly, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with what he did. This is just how he is. It's his personality. It's how he is. He wanted to help them and everything. And in the end, because of his, him wanting to be a good friend over wanting to push them to their, past their limits, he's not a good producer. But obviously he was trying to be a good friend, and that's why he can't be a good producer. But I don't know, honestly, it just kind of pisses me off, especially like I said, how some people were trying to defend it. But yeah, other than that, I love that part of the episode. I love the very end. I loved Iori is literally, I hated him at first, I'm not gonna lie, but he's actually turned out to be a real bro, honestly. He ends up leaving Rouge on Rouge as well with Izumi, and I was actually expecting him to say that he was going to be working with them, which may be still yet, that we see something like that in the future, in the next episode and everything, but I'm definitely excited to see how the next episode will be. Like I said before, at the end of episode 9, I was kind of scared on how everything would go in these next 2 episodes, but after watching this episode, I'm actually pretty damn excited, and hopefully it will be a good episode, the next one, but still a little scared in the fact that it may be kind of rushed in a way. Like I said, I feel like we need maybe another 2 episodes at least, but maybe we'll have an announcement of another season. I'm not too sure how the source material goes, if there is like a lot more left for another season. But yeah, hopefully it does end well. We got a date coming up between Megumi and Tomoya. I'm not too sure how what's going to happen with Izumi and Iori. Are they going to join up with them? And then, of course, what's going to happen with Eddie and Uta? Are we going to get a time skip of sorts, or are we going to see... Like, I'm still confused on how everything's going to end in one episode, and that's what scares me. I'm excited because of everything that happened, scared because I cannot see everything that happened fitting all in one episode with a good conclusion. Unless there's an announcement of a 3rd season, which would make sense, and I'd be like, okay, I'm okay with a huge cliffhanger as long as there is another season. If there's a big cliffhanger and there's no announcement of a 3rd season, I'm gonna be kind of sad, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, that's all I gotta say, guys. Hope you enjoyed this Anime Kingdom review. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If there's anything I missed and you want to talk about, comment below as well. And if you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe for more content. And as always, guys, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Anime watchers only. How did you feel about this episode? Source material readers, how did you feel about this episode? Good, bad, whatever you guys want to talk about. It's always interesting to hear your guys' thoughts. So yeah, feel free to comment below if you do have any. And yeah, that's all I gotta say, guys. Until next time, see ya.